I'm having a bit of an experimental weekend. A couple of weeks ago I started to have a look and do a bit of a recce of the Great British Escapade route, and I picked a section of the South Downs all around the Surrey Hills because I haven't really ridden the North Downs before. And one thing I discovered was that my Ribble, great as it is on the South Downs, struggled a little bit with some of the more gnarly sections and the sandy sections and that kind of thing of the North Downs. So this weekend I have dragged out my trusty old mountain bike, and when I say old I mean it's a Specialized Rockhopper with 26-inch wheels that spent probably 6-7 years down in my basement rusting. So it's been brought up together, it's got new brakes, it's got new saddle, it's got new chain and cassette, tyres have been pumped up, it's generally been cleaned up. And so this weekend I am going to today do a route that's broadly similar to the one I did a couple of weeks ago on the mountain bike on Saturday, and then on Sunday I'm going to do exactly the same route in conditions as close as possible to today's on my Ribble tomorrow, and I'm going to see which one's quicker. I really don't know the answer. My mountain bike, I should be able to keep riding it for longer. I shall certainly, it's got all the gearing to get up the steeper and more gnarly sections, and being a flat barred bike I should find it a lot more comfortable on some of the downhill sections. My Ribble, on the other hand, is going to be a lot faster on the road sections and on some of the more basic, more simple trails. So this particular route has a real good mixture of good fast trail sections, road sections, gnarly bits, and all of that kind of thing. So the question is, am I going to be faster on my mountain bike where I can keep riding it, or am I going to be faster on my Ribble CGR? So, would you like to place your bets? Sand! Oh, I can ride through this section of sand on my gravel bike. I thought I might be able to do it on my mountain bike, but it's too deep, too sandy, even for my mountain bike. You can't even ride along the edges to get it easier because this sand is just like a sand pit right the way across, but it only goes to the end of there. So for the first time on this ride on my mountain bike, I'm having to get off a bush. Turns out, even on my mountain bike, I just can't get a grip on this stuff, not going uphill. I think I probably could ride it, but yeah, I'm just tired. My legs won't grip, my bike won't grip, and I've worked out that I think I'm quicker pushing it than I am actually trying to ride it. Oh, puffing a bit. I've just reached the highest point of the ride. I'm in at the top of the Devil's Punch Bowl. That was my bike falling on me. Stay there. I can't pretend, even on my mountain bike, that has hurt. I started to walk up the rockiest of bits But I came up here a couple of weeks ago and it was really grey and cloudy, but I have to say I've been rewarded with stunning views and beautiful skies. So here you go, enjoy. I'm going to stop for a quick drink and something to eat. I think I've only got about 7 miles to go, mostly off-road, and then it's done. But oh, I'll have earned a good dinner tonight. Welcome back to day 2 of my experiment, my bike experiment. So I've done the road section, or the first road section, which is 14.5 miles, and don't know whether I was much quicker. My average speed is not that great, but I think I need to factor in the fact that there's fatigue from yesterday, and also it's much windier, and it's been either a headwind or a side wind all the way. So but as you can hear, I'm not huffing and puffing, so regardless of what speed I've been going, it's taken a lot less energy. Now I've got to the woods, and yeah, this is where the differences between the two bikes will really show up. Yesterday I was on a mountain bike with suspension. I was upright, I had a lot more control over my bike, I had great brakes, and I tended to sort of bomb along the trails a little bit. I wasn't too worried about the odd rock, the odd tree root. On my Ribble, I'm going to be taking things a lot more carefully, but hopefully be going quicker in between. Some bits of trail are just great, other bits are a bit gnarly. I think I'll be off and pushing a little bit more than I was yesterday, but that's part of the experiment. The experiment is to see whether I can actually get off and push the bits that I'm uncomfortable with and still be quicker than on my mountain bike. I'll be comparing the results at the end of the day. Day of riding, and the experiment's been an interesting one. The bikes, in terms of time and speed, were not actually that different. My Ribble, I think, was faster. It was certainly faster on the roads, and although it wasn't necessarily faster on all of the off-road sections, to have a speed that was actually almost identical to the mountain bike, when you consider that I actually had to push the Ribble a little bit more than I did on the mountain bike, because there were certain sections that were either just a bit too scary because I'm a wimp, or were just, I just couldn't quite get the grip I needed because maybe it was a bit too rocky, or descents were a little bit too gnarly for my confidence levels. So I did push it a little bit more. I pushed it through more sand because it didn't have quite the same grip, and that's the fault of my tyres really. It didn't really have the same grip in the sand as the mountain bike. So I think that pretty much means that the Ribble was slightly faster in terms of moving speed, because I had to push it more. Is that going to be a problem over the whole ride? I don't know.